Herb, I was just looking in my crystal ball.
Crystal ball?
I had a vision.
A vision?
A vision of what's going to be on Beakman's World today.
Oh, yeah? What?
It's going to be a show, a wonderful show all about frozen fish.
Don, that's not a crystal ball. It's a lump of ice with our dinner in it.
Oh, then I wonder what's going to be on Beakman's World today.
We'll turn on the television and let's see.
Your stomach has to produce a new lining of mucus every 3 days, or it will digest itself. I'm Beakman, and you've just broken into Beakman's World. Liza, my engine's racing. Don't idle. Steer me toward a question, please.
Steering. Elise Peterson of Bridgewater, New Jersey, and Jacob Linderman of Silver Lake, Kansas, and Jonathan Sunday of Dyersburg, Tennessee, all want to know about snakes.
For goodness sakes, what charming questions. Let's snake, rattle, and roll. All snakes belong to the order of animals called reptiles. Snakes are cold-blooded, which means they have to lie in the sun to raise their body temperature or crawl into the shade to lower it. Mammals, which are warm-blooded animals like you and me, can regulate their body temperature to adjust to different temperatures around them. Being cold-blooded, snakes don't need a lot of food energy to maintain a steady body temperature.
I find all this very enchanting, but I can't help but think that snakes are slimy and deadly.
Slimy, you say? You're wrong! Actually, a snake's skin is made up of tri-scales. Why, they're not the least bit slimy, are they, Lester?
Oh, yeah, whatever you say. Now, could we just talk about air pressure or something?
So let's see, that takes care of slimy. Now, what was that other thing you brought up?
Deadly. I asked about deadly, but you don't have to.
Right. Well, let me tell you, nothing is more deadly to its prey than this big fella right here. This is a python. And Lester, the way they kill is really interesting.
Oh?
First, they wrap themselves around their victim 2 or more times, like the python is right now, and then they contract their muscles.
That squeezes the animal. In this case, you, until the animal, and you'll recall that would be you, suffocates. Bye.
Oh, and Lester, you're gonna love this. Snakes can swallow prey much bigger than themselves. This snake, for example, has just killed a regulation-sized softball. I kid. Snakes don't really eat softballs. They often eat rats, but I don't want to alarm Lester. The elastic nature of a snake's amazing jaws allows it to open really wide and chow down. Back. That ball is out of here! Most snakes are harmless to people. Some even make good pets. However, and this is a big however, never approach a snake unless you know for certain that it is harmless. You help!
Hey, Beakman, why do snakes, such as Rocky, this red-tailed boa constrictor, stick out their tongues so much?
Well, snakes don't hear or see very well, Liza. So they rely on their keen sense of smell.
So it smells with a tongue instead of a nose?
You got it. A snake sticks out its tongue to pick up scent particles. When its tongue goes back in its mouth, these particles enter a special organ of smell called the Jacobson's organ.
The Jacobson's organ?
Yes, the Jacobson's organ. already. The Jacobson's organ is very sensitive to odors and enables a snake to follow the scent of whatever it's hunting.
Good thing he's not smelling Lester. It's not very pretty when a boa barks.
So, Elise Peterson of Bridgewater, New Jersey.
That's it, Beakman. That's all we're gonna do on snakes.
Oh, good. We're done.
Well, I could say that the South American anaconda snake can grow up to 30 feet long and weigh 500 pounds.
Still not good enough.
Yes, it is.
Well, how about, unlike people, snakes keep growing and growing their entire lives?
Great, great.
That's why they have to shed their skin, because they keep outgrowing it.
Wow.
This just isn't working. We are feeling unfulfilled. We need a big, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom finish.
Give my regards to pythons.
Remember me to copperheads.
Tell all those western pygmy rattlesnakes we think they're talented.
Tell all those gaboon vipers
And yellow-bellied sea snakes, too. We're standing up to give 3 cheers. Hip hooray, snake, we love you.
So, Elise Peterson of Bridgewater, New Jersey, Jacob Lindemann of Silver Lake, Kansas, and Jonathan Sunday of Dyersburg, Tennessee. That's our take on the snake. My Lester thanks you. My Liza thanks you. And my own personal self thanks you. Thank you. Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha.
We're standing up to give 3 cheers. Hip hooray, snakes, we love you. What?
Coming up next, the buzz on bee stings. Try not to get stung, and we'll be right back.
Beakman's World must now take a beaker break. And now back to Beakman's World.
Code Red.
It's time to mash your modem. Here he is, the tinker of telekinesis, the boot black of brilliance, the Dick Gautier. Who won't go away? The one, the only, the Beakman.
You tail him, I'll jail him. Let's safety dance.
Beakman's my kind of man.
I kind of like the rat myself.
Question from Lindsay Schneider, what a great name, of Otterville, Ohio. What's in a flower that makes it smell?
My guess, Lindsay, they eat a lot of anchovies. That's what makes you smell, Don.
Thanks, Herb.
Yeah!
Answer? In most cases, odors come from oily substances on the flower's petals. Flowers need those odors to attract the flies and bees that spread their pollen around.
Question, how many bones are there in your head?
Answer? There are 28 bones in the human skull.
That's right.
Is that why we call Lester a bonehead?
Unfortunately not.
I earned that moniker myself.
Question, what's the densest metal in the world?
Osmium.
Yes! How did you know?
Simple. I'm the Wizard of Oz. Mium.
Question, did Lester send that last question just so he could do that terrible joke?
Answer.
Paging Dr. Liza. Dr. Equal Liza, you're wanted in the hospital sketch.
That's me! Time to go, guys! Hello, I'm Dr. Liza with today's hip health tip. Lester, are you of sound mind and body?
Well, I don't know about the mind, but my body makes lots of sounds. Shall I favor you with a selection?
I'll take a rain check. Now, what would you do if you saw someone stung by a bee?
Well, I'd be delighted. Where there be bees, there be honey.
Lester, bee stings are not so sweet. Say you're stung by a bee.
Hey! Ow!
Here's what to do. First, you wash it with soap and water. Alcohol or hydrogen peroxide will do fine too. If the stinger's still in there, scrape it off, being careful not to pinch it or squeeze it. Next, you watch it.
It's not doing anything.
That's just what you want it to do. Some people have terrible allergic reactions to the poison in a bee sting. That means their bodies can't handle it at all. If those people get stung, they need the help of a competent doctor immediately.
Paging Dr. Truistic, Dr. Altruistic.
Well, how do I know if I'm one of those allergic people?
Paging Dr. Allergic, Dr. Al.
Hey, cut that out, will ya?
Sorry.
Unfortunately, the only way to tell if you're allergic to bee stings is to be stung. If you're allergic, a number of things could happen. The place on your body where you got stung could swell up. Or your lips could swell up. Or your eyelids. Or you could have trouble breathing. If anything like that ever happens to you, you need to see a doctor, stat. Stat. That's medical talk from the Latin word for right away. Thankfully, most people aren't allergic to bee stings. You can use some calamine lotion or a paste made of water and baking soda to reduce the itching and swelling. Or a little ice or cream will fix you right up.
Ice cream? Hey, I should get stung more often.
I meant ice and first aid cream. Lester?
Oh, me too. With a little chocolate syrup and some jimmies, it's delicious.
Paging Dr. Bino, Dr. Albino.
The fifth race. Coming up next, a jumbo jet you can build from the stuff you find between your toes.
No, not this show, Lester.
Oh, that's next week?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Then let's find out all about the 4 seasons. Don't spring off. We're gonna fall into it. We'll pick up winter after this. Okay, so summer better than others.
Beakman's World will be back in a flash. And now, back to Beakman's World.
This is your mother. How many times do I have to tell you to comb your hair?
I'm eager to explain. Quell me with a question, Liza.
Quelling. It's from Letitia Lightfoot of Cicero, Illinois. She asks, why do we have seasons?
Well, because flapjacks can be pretty bland without a heaping helping of cayenne pepper.
She wants to know about seasons! Not seasonings! Seasons!
Oh, well, why didn't you say so? Oh, for your information, we have seasons because sometimes the Earth is near the sun and other times it is far away.
You were a little closer with a cayenne pepper. Seasons don't change because the Earth gets closer and farther away from the sun. Seasons change because the Earth is tilted.
It is not. Okay, it is. So there!
Like this gyroscope, the Earth revolves on an axis. That's this thing right here. The straight line around which the gyroscope rotates. Let's see how this relates to our Earth. Yeah. Although the scope You can't see the Earth's axis, but if you could, you'd see that it's not straight up and down compared to its orbit around the sun. It's tilted 23.5 degrees.
Okay, so the Earth is tilted on its invisible axis. Now, what in the name of Antonio Vivaldi does that have to do with the four seasons?
To explain, I'd like you to welcome the man who first figured out that the Earth revolves around the sun and not vice versa.
I always thought the Earth revolved around me.
No, Lester. Those are flies.
Let's welcome that swinging dead man, Solar Brother #1, Mr. Please, Please, Please Quit Banning My Texts, Nicolaus Copernicus. Hello? Hello? Who's calling? Who wants me?
We do.
Yeah, we do.
Wow, which amusement park did he get fired from?
All of them.
But wait, aren't you the guy who told everybody the Earth revolves around the sun?
Oh, swell. They never stopped hassling me about my theory when I was alive. I thought now would be different. Just like you mice to hit a man when he's dead.
No, you don't understand. The Earth really does revolve around the sun. Your theory was right.
It was? Yes!
Oh, baby, thank you. I love it.
So there, all you dopey-headed, narrow-minded, knuckle-headed geocentrists.
Looks like you were way ahead of your time, Copernicus.
Yeah, and look what price I had to pay.
But can you please tell us what the Earth's axis has to do with the seasons?
Sure thing, Cutesky. First, I need a globe. Look, nothing up sleeve. Amazing. We call this half of Earth Northern Hemisphere. And we call this half of Earth Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah. And in the Northern Hemisphere, we have baseball season. And in the Southern Hemisphere, they have soccer season. So what?
Yeah. How about those Mets, huh? Oof. Since Earth's axis is tilted, sometime Southern Hemisphere is pointing toward sun, and sometime Northern Hemisphere is pointing toward sun. The one that's pointing toward sun gets more of sun's energy.
That makes it hotter, and when it's hot, it's summer.
Right, Sweetnikoff.
I still don't get it.
Gee, what a surprise! Unfortunately, it appears you will need some sort of tabletop demonstration. And since I could not fit one up sleeve, I am out of here. Besides, I've got a lot of people to walk up to and say, "Told you so, nye, 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 nye." So far, we've got a tilted axis, and we've got northern and southern hemispheres. Let's plug them into our Beak seasonometer. This gizmo, otherwise known as an orrery, shows the Earth's relationship to the sun. We've taken out the other planets because, hey, who needs them? Just kidding. We don't need them to explain seasons. Let's turn on the sun. Ray? Oh, yes. When the Earth is in this position in its orbit around the sun, it's summer here in the northern hemisphere. See, there are more direct rays of sunlight shining on the northern half of the Earth. And there are low, slanting rays of sunlight shining down here on the southern hemisphere, where it's winter. As the Earth continues on its orbit, the southern hemisphere gets more direct sunlight. Now, the southern hemisphere is tilted toward the sun, and the northern hemisphere is tilted away. Zaloom! It's summer down south and winter up north. And on the way to summer and winter come spring and fall. So, Letitia Lightfoot of Cicero, Illinois, stems the reasons for the seasons. And thanks again for your letter.
Where is it that the sun doesn't shine? Outside, during the day, for months and months and months. Chill out. Beakman will tell you right after this.
Beakman's World will be back after these messages. And now, back to Beakman's World.
Where is it that the sun doesn't shine for months at a time? Well, at the North and South Poles. When the Northern Hemisphere is tilting away from the sun, the North Pole experiences months of darkness, and the South Pole experiences months of light. But when the Southern Hemisphere is tilting away from the sun, the opposite is true.
And speaking of long days, ours is just about over.
Yeah, see you next time.
On Beakman's World.
So we're tilting, huh?
Yeah, we look like the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Oh, pizza. Let's order some.
Not till Beakman's over.
Herb,
Yes, Don?
he's over.
I'll order.